time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. We're going to do an interesting comparison. We're going to compare a song done by two different groups that include Jeff Lynne. And Jeff Lynne writes the song. The song is called Do Ya. The first version is by The Move. The Move were formed in 1965 in the UK by Roy Wood. In 1968, Roy Wood had an idea to put together a second band that used cellos and woodwinds and gave it more of a classical sound. And it would be Electric Light Orchestra. In 1969, they lost a member of The Move, and Roy Wood really thought Jeff Lynne was something and invited Jeff Lynne to join the group, The Move. Jeff Lynne turned them down because at that point he had a different group that he was trying to promote. In 1970, The Move lost another member, and again, Roy Wood approached Jeff Lynne. Now, Jeff Lynne heard about Roy Wood's idea for Electric Light Orchestra and thought, that'd be really cool. I'm going to join this group. So now we have two groups. We have The Move and we have Electric Light Orchestra, which Roy Wood put together with Jeff Lynne to start recording. During that time frame, Jeff Lynne writes the song Do Ya. It's recorded by The Move and placed on the B-side of a single called California Man, released in the UK and the United States. In the United States, California Man went nowhere, but the song Do Ya got the attention of a lot of DJs across the United States, and they started playing it on AM radio. It's the only song by The Move that broke out of the top 100 of Billboard's Hot 100 singles chart. It got to 93. Not a big push, but it broke the 100 mark. The song went into obscurity at that point, and Electric Light Orchestra took over and The Move broke up. Well, Todd Rundgren had heard it and started to play it live in his concert because he loved the sound of the song. As he played it over and over, it got recorded and was put onto one of his live albums. Well, as time went on, 73, 74, Jeff Lynne would be questioned about the song Do Ya because Electric Light Orchestra would be playing it live as well. They thought it was a Todd Rundgren song, the music press. So they questioned Jeff Lynne about it and say, how come you're doing a Todd Rundgren song? So to beat out the music press, Jeff Lynne decided to re-record it with Electric Light Orchestra in 1976 so that it could finally get put out there that this was a Jeff Lynne written song, and it's done by The Move and Electric Light Orchestra, two groups that Jeff Lynne were in. They released it on their fantastic album, New World Record, and also released it as a single in the United States, and it did really, really well. The song got to number 24, number 24 on Billboard's Hot 100 singles chart. So let's start with The Move, hear what the song sounds like by The Move, and then we're going to play the version done by Electric Light Orchestra.
In this life I've
Okay, very heavy song. Very heavy song. And what's interesting is the beginning starts out and it's just traditional rock and roll instruments, right? It's guitar, it's bass, it's drum. They got the cowbell in there, and it's almost got a little bit of a hollow sound to it too. Like there's pieces missing to this song. It just starts out that way, kind of hollow. Then the vocals come in and they're filtered vocals and they're kind of like, wow, they're way out in the distance somewhere. They're not immediate. Like most pop records or hard rock records, the vocals are right up front. These sound like they're pushed in the background because they're kind of muffled, they're filtered, and it just gives it a totally different feel. But it is a very heavy song, and the guitars are just great, but it just sounds like it's missing something. Let's keep on going. Okay, that's kind of cool. That middle section there, the bridge there, it was kind of a dream sequence. It was a little bit more, it wasn't as heavy, it was softer, kind of a dream sequence. A little bit of psychedelic as well, which they've also put that kind of echo at the end of some of the lines and gave it that kind of psychedelic feel as well. So we're coming out of, in 1970, we're coming out of the psychedelic era, but there's still a lot of pieces of psychedelic in the music in the early 70s as well. And they're also moving into that slide guitar because, like, you know, the Faces are using the slide guitar. A lot of groups are starting to use a slide guitar on their music, and so they're putting that in there too. So they're kind of mixing old with the new and heavy. It's kind of a cool song how they put this whole thing together. Let's keep on going.
There's a plane coming!
Okay, that's kind of a strange ending. Now, I gotta admit, I've only heard bits and pieces of this version of the song. I've never heard the whole song before. So I didn't realize they had a little bit of a drum solo in there. Was about 5 seconds of a drum solo in there that kind of split the end of the song. And then it kind of just ended. The song kind of ended with the person yelling something about a plane coming in. And that was it. So it's kind of a weird song in a way. But it starts out so heavy, and it holds that heavy guitar through most of the song. So I think that's what brings the interest to this song. The other piece of it is, like I said, it's got a little bit of psychedelic. The ending is even kind of a little bit psychedelic as well, where they just kind of ended it and they yelled that thing out about the plane. So a cool song. It's too bad it was just a B-side. Like I said, in the United States, the DJs flipped over and played this side instead of California Man because they didn't care for that song. And I think that this was liked because the harder sound was starting to make it big in the early 70s. So a lot of groups were doing more of this style of music. And I can't tell you what California Man sounds like. I've never heard it. But I just think this is a cool version of Do Ya. I really like it a lot. But it's very simplistic. It doesn't have strings. It doesn't have anything but the instruments that the band plays, and how they mixed it in was kind of cool. So I thought this was a neat way to take a look at the original version of Do Ya, and then let's take a look at how Electric Light Orchestra and redid the song. I mean, again, it's Jeff Lynne who wrote it and helped arrange this version. Now Jeff Lynne has got another 6 years ahead of him. He did this, I believe, in 70, and then in 76, he did the new version for the New World Record album. And what did he do to change it, to update it from the original version? So here we go with Electric Light Orchestra doing their version of Do Ya. Okay. Starts out with that heavy guitar again. I mean, it's there, and you got that slide in there. But what's different is now you've got the cellos and the violins coming in, which fill in those gaps that I had mentioned from the original version. Like I said, the original version, the beginning sounded really hollow, like it was missing something, and it was missing these instruments, the cellos and the violin. So that really fills in. We don't have the cowbell either, so in the Move version, you had that cowbell throughout the song. It was like, give me a little bit more cowbell on that song. Give me a little bit more cowbell. And here we don't have the cowbell, at least not yet. We're only a minute into the song. When Jeff Lynne starts singing, it's not that real heavy filtered voice either. It's more of a natural Jeff Lynne vocals on this version as well. And then when you get into the refrain, you got the backup vocalist coming in and singing along with Jeff Lynne. So a lot of changes that Jeff did to update this song from the original version and give it that ELO touch. Let's keep on going.
Woman,
Okay, now that bridge was pretty much the same as the move, but you had the strings in there. And the strings again filled in a lot of the gaps that were in the move version. It's just like it just adds a whole new level of sound to this song. And then you still had the slide guitar in there. You kept the slide guitar in, and then his vocals again were more clear. More, when you listen to Electric Light Orchestra, and you can tell it's Electric Light Orchestra just from Jeff Lynne's vocals. And this song carries those vocals through. Where the move version, I would not have guessed that was Jeff Lynne. Just would not have guessed that. So again, we're upgrading the song, done again by the master himself, Jeff Lynne, but we've upgraded it several years and added the strings, added a more clear vocal. It's just a totally different sounding song. Okay, again, I'm trying to remember all these songs. I haven't heard this song in quite a while, okay? So this has that drum roll in it too, that very short drum solo. I had forgotten about that. So again, in the move version, we had that drum solo. Jeff Lynne carried it over into the new version as well. So that's pretty cool. Let's keep on going. Oh, nice, nice. Just it's kind of neat how they've kept a lot of the elements from the original song, the original version done by the Move, and kept it into the ELO version. Now it ended totally different from the Move version. So the Move, like I said, just kind of stopped, and then they yelled that one line out about the airplane. This one, they just kind of just faded it out, and just ended the song. They didn't do the yelling at the end. But a lot of the elements are there. You get that bridge section, that very similar, other than the fact with the yellow, they added the strings in there. You had the little drum roll in there. The beginning with with that heavy guitar was very similar, other than the fact, again, they after the I think it was after the first then they added the strings in. And the strings filled in a lot that, left the Move version fairly hollow. But again, Jeff Lynne's vocals were different. It was more clear. They were more Electric Light Orchestra like, let's say. I mean, again, like I had mentioned, you hear Jeff Lynne, you know it's Electric Light Orchestra. While the Move version, I don't think you could tell that was Jeff Lynne singing that, the way they filtered the voice and gave it this kind of faraway sound. So it still had a lot of the same elements. The other thing I want to just point out too is the recording techniques from the original version to this version were totally different. I mean, you were probably using 32 or 64 track tape system here to record this. At the time, groups like Electric Light Orchestra, Fleetwood Mac, Paul McCartney and Wings, they were trying to make the perfect album. You know, not a single flaw in the album. Everything just flowed perfectly. High production. Oh, the Eagles were another group that were doing that. And it shows. I mean, this was very, very clean versus the version by The Move, where they were probably using maybe an 8-track recording system, possibly a 16-track. And, you know, you're just a whole different way of recording music in those few years from 70 to 76. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the comparison of The Move doing Do Ya and Electric Light Orchestra doing the song Do Ya. You know, having Jeff Lynne being the power driver on both of the versions of the song. If you did like it, hit that like button. That'd be really appreciated. If you have any comments on The Move or Electric Light Orchestra doing the song Do Ya, put in the comments below. That'd be really appreciated. Now, I'm going to take a link to both videos and put it in my description below. So if you want to watch them again without me stopping them, so you can watch them all the way through, click on the link. They'll open up and they'll play for you. I'm also going to take a link to the channels that uploaded these videos and put it in my description below as well. You might want to click on those links, check out what those channels have to offer in videos. Now, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, why don't you do it right now? We're having a lot of fun doing a lot of comparisons, doing a lot of different genres, doing all kinds of fun stuff. Just go below this video, below the title of the video, and hit the subscribe button. That's all you got to do, and you're making me very happy. But if you go over here and ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. Yeah, I thought this would be a great comparison. You know, I was listening to the radio the other day, and The Move came on with Do Ya. And like I said, I didn't hear the whole thing. I only heard a little bit at the beginning, and I went, wow, I didn't know that The Move did this song. This is a song by Electric Light Orchestra. So I had to look it up, read up some of the detail about it, and it was like, we got to do a comparison. We got to do a comparison. And here it is. But it did put a big smile on my face. I'm hoping it put a big smile on your face. And peace out, baby.